Hello and welcome to a very dour episode of Casing the Cover. This is a maybe bonus, maybe lost episode. We'll find out. With me, as always, is my co-host Jen, if not in person, in spirit.
Much in spirit. And technically in person. I mean, we're talking
Yes.
from our separate quarantined households.
Yeah. Which will explain background noise. I don't know how full is your house right now?
Today, there are 2 people and 6 cats in my house.
We have 4 people, 4 cats, 5 dogs at my house. So my house might get noisy.
On a normal day, because we are recording on a day that is a holiday in Arizona, which is so stupid, but whatever.
Cesar Chavez Day.
Happy Cesar Chavez Day. Not that it changed anything for those of us who are out of work because of the virus.
Yeah.
But yeah, on a normal day, it really is just me and the cat. So it's been a little bit weird here. Like, I actually do feel like I'm kind of alone in the world.
Really?
Yeah.
I never feel like that. Well, first of all, my family is home. I'm the only one who's left the house, really. I've been working my second job a couple days here and there just because it's a small job. We only have 2 of us in the office. So we're about to kind of go into a stay home mode there too. So I'm at the beginning of my let's see when I get to leave the house again.
So I just would like to say that it is a point of pride for me that starting on the day that the libraries all closed, which was St. Patrick's Day, I didn't leave the house for like 2 weeks.
That's crazy.
I just didn't do it. There was no reason. And then it kind of became like, oh, well, okay, this is just what I'm doing now. I did break that over the weekend, and I went walking around parks because I am testing some games that require me to leave the house and wander around. And that's all I can say about that. But I still social distanced.
Yes.
And I was a good girl. I didn't go inside any places. They were all outside. That's one of the things that I'm doing to keep entertained during this very strange and historic time that we're in.
It's historic, yeah. For all the wrong reasons. I'm not someone who does well in isolation because, like, you know, if we're home and my husband decides to go take a nap, or we'll sometimes we'll get up different times, go to bed different times. I end up spiraling and just doing the refresh online. So I'm trying to find ways to keep busy, which kind of brings us to our topic of our mini-sode.
Yes.
You like that transition there?
Yes, it was a good segue. I liked it.
We're going to kind of talk about the ways we're keeping sane and things that you can do from your home to enjoy things that maybe you can't right now, such as your libraries or all those big events you were supposed to go to that got canceled.
So this will be kind of a lamentation of what we are missing out on, as well as how to console yourself a little bit on things that, you know, things don't suck that bad, really.
No, it's
be a lot worse.
Just you can't go anywhere. Which I'm kind of a homebody as it is, but I'm also kind of a workaholic, so not being able to go to work is driving me a little crazy. And I miss work because we love our library.
I know. I miss the book. I miss my friends.
Uh-huh.
I miss Mary.
Aw. I literally think I spend as much time with you as I do with my family at this point. So, like, it's weird not seeing you, like, every day. And
yeah, I don't think we realize just how much fun we have at work.
Mm-hmm.
I know some people are probably going, I hate my job. I'm kind of glad that I don't have to deal with it. We are not those people.
Nope.
For us, this is, like, really the job thing is the worst part about it.
I agree.
Yeah.
Our last day we went in, the library wasn't open. They'd already closed it. You said St. Patrick's Day. They basically had us come in. They kind of told us what the plan was for the meantime. And they had us kind of bring, you know, if you had any food in the fridge, clear it out, bring home anything you need to bring with you. And our first impulse was to go to the shelves and grab a bunch of stuff.
Yes.
Yes, I came home with, I think, about 15 movies.
Mm-hmm.
and I think 6 or 7 books. I've watched 4 of the movies and I have not touched a single one of the books.
My confession on this, I was so overwhelmed by the concept of, oh my God, I can take anything I want off the shelves right now and I have all this unlimited time. I took nothing.
Good job.
But I took seeds from our seed library and I have planted them. But I was so overwhelmed. It's like you can have anything you want, anything, and you have all the time to do it. And I took nothing.
Yeah, I took some things and I haven't really used them. But I have been utilizing our online stuff, which is kind of something I plugged it a little bit. I don't know if you listened to the last episode. I recorded a preemptive for it because other than this, most of our episodes that I'll be going out in the near future have been pre-recorded. So they're not very acknowledging of the world burning. So I kind of made a little preemptive like, hey, this is what's going on. This is pre-recorded. So if we talk about all the events we're going to, we're not.
Yeah.
But I mentioned in there that there are resources you can use outside of your home, and your libraries are still functioning even if the buildings are closed. Our buildings are closed. But we still have access to all the online stuff through our city. And a lot of cities offer Canopy, a lot of cities offer Hoopla, a lot of cities offer Overdrive, which is probably the best one. Overdrive has a huge library. You log in with your library card. A lot of libraries let you make your library card online now. You don't need the building to access it as long as you've got a phone, which is what I've been. Do you want me to tell you about the book I read on Overdrive this week?
Yes.
It's bad. So in true Case in the Cover fashion, I found a bad book online. And since our listeners seem to prefer these, it's a romance novel. So I don't know if you're going to be able to see it because my luckily no one else can see this, but my laptop camera is awful. This is called A Sorceress of His Own. Can you see it?
No, because of the glare.
Oh, I'll send you a picture of it.
All right.
So it's basically, I was like, I'm in the mood for like a fantasy book, but I'd like a little romance because I like romance. But when I think of like, I want a fantasy romance, I think I want a fantasy book that's got a love story in it. And you can't really search for that on Overdrive. If you look up romance, it's all sex novels. That's just the long and short of it. And this one, I don't know, it seemed intriguing, and the front half of it was kind of interesting. It's by Dianne Duval. She's a New York Times bestselling author, which, means nothing.
Yeah, we've learned that doesn't mean anything.
It doesn't. And it's part of the Gifted Ones series, but I think it's the only book in the series that deals with these characters, because when I looked into it, the next book has different leads.
Okay.
I'm looking up the cover so I can send it to you. Actually, I might be able to. You have your phone with you, right?
No, actually, I didn't bring it in to the. I know, I left it downstairs. What do you want?
I'm professional.
So I'm in the mansion. Should I say that, like, yeah, I'm recording this from my manor, as you refer to it on more than one occasion, and I'm in the cinema room, which is like all sci-fi themed crazy shit, because my husband is a big time Star Trek, Star Wars, everything geeky and science fiction.
Not just, also the worst one. Your husband's obsessed with the worst one, which is Lost in Space. That's the worst one.
Oh yes, there's so much Lost in Space stuff in here too. I'm sure that's like primary above all things. But yeah, that's our movie room is that, because why not?
Yeah.
See, we could record from this room. Kind of cool.
So we have to sit on opposite ends of the room?
Yes, something like that. I don't know. I think we could sit 6 feet apart in this room. So you keep calling it a manor, but nobody realizes how tiny every room in my house is.
It's like a miniature manor.
It is. It's my mini manor. It's my size.
Yes, because we're very small
For those
people.
who have had the pleasure of meeting me in person, I'm not a very large person. I'm kind of a small human.
All right, can you open up? Can you see your chat on here? If I send it to you on chat, can you see that on your computer?
Probably. You can screen share too. We're learning Zoom.
There's a screen share? How do I do a screen share?
Float all the way down to the bottom.
We're so good at this.
I'm really good at this. I am the tech head.
Can you see it?
This is actually really fast. Oh, look at that. Okay, cool.
You see it?
I do see this.
Okay. So this is the cover on the audiobook that I've been seeing. So it's this man in armor. He looks like Peeta from the Hunger Games.
It kind of does.
He's got a sword, he's in armor, and behind him, kind of cloaked in darkness, you can only see one eye, and her beautiful face is this mysterious figure, and there's a castle in the background. It's obviously like Photoshop stock models.
Oh yeah.
But it is true to the story. It's very, magic and swords and romance, which this also kind of implies. So this is the cover I've been dealing with on the audiobook. This, I'm assuming, is the book cover, which I actually like a lot better.
Yeah.
It's a lot more mysterious.
I like the font better, too. Here we go with Jenn and the fonts. The other font reminds me of, oh my God, what was it called? There's a book called The Fifth Gospel.
Don't have any idea what that is.
It's just, I don't know, that font makes me think of, like, religious conspiracy books. This font makes me think of, like, sword and sorcery.
Yeah, which is what this is. The second cover, it's, again, the guy in the armor. This one is a different male model. Does not look like Peeta from the Hunger Games.
No, he looks a little more rugged.
Yeah, he also looks like he's wearing the same armor, though, which is weird. I wonder if they had different models come in. But this time, the love interest, she's kind of above him with, like, the cloak out, and she looks more mysterious. I think it's just a better designed cover.
She's looming.
Yeah. And so here's the thing with this book, is that when I started I listened to it. I listen to books. I don't read books. I can't anymore, which is why I haven't finished the book I'm supposed to be reading. When I started listening to it, it was intriguing because, like, the plot of this is that she's gifted. She has magical healing abilities, but, they're in the Middle Ages in England, and so she's condemned for having them. But her grandmother worked for, like, this duke or whatever the hell he is, and she basically goes and takes her grandmother's place when it passes on to his heir, so that he won't recognize the change, but she can pretend to be her grandmother, so that she's kind of in this protected status. People don't know who she is, so that she's kind of guarded, but of course she's in love with the duke. And so the beginning of it was kind of intriguing because there was this magic element to it, and then as like soon as that he finds out who she is and they fall in love, the rest of it was just cheesy garbage with a couple of battles in it, sort of, but not really.
But not really.
So by the end of it, my eyes were rolling, like, very hard, because so the plot of the book is fine. The plot itself, like, the order things happen in, there's a bad guy. The magic in it is but fine. It's kind of, like, wavy in terms of, like, what are the rules of this, because she, like, gains a gazillion abilities halfway through the book, and there's other mysterious sorcerer, and that never, figure out who the hell he is. But they do this thing where they try to do, like, the medieval speak. So, like, they say "twas" a lot and "nor" and but, like, in, like, colloquial English. So, like, the way they talk and, like, the pattern of their speech sounds like they're having a conversation, like, real conversation. But then they put, like, the old-fashioned words in it, so it, like, doesn't fit the structure of the sentences right.
Oh, nice.
And on top of that, like, as soon as they become a couple, they like to use kind of like those teasy, lovey-dovey, like, dialogue, but with the old speak. And it just was making my head hurt.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. See, no matter what the situation is, books will save us or make it worse.
Even in seclusion, we can find weird books we hate.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you gotta start sending me stuff that's ebook because, although I should say my shelves are full of books, so I could just start going through the to be read. That's totally something I should be doing right now. That's part of the reason I didn't take anything from the library, is because I'm like, you know what? This is my chance to get through the to be read. I haven't even finished the one book that I got from the library.
But see, the fact that it's on a to be read shelf means it's a chore, which is why you haven't done it.
Well, yeah, but this is the time. Now is the time. I can't do anything else.
That's what I told myself, and you see how that's gone. I haven't read a single thing.
You know, and I say I can't do anything else, but segueing into like my half of this.
Yes.
And things that have been, you know, ripped out from under us as far as, you know, experiences and gatherings and things of that nature. Some things have not changed at all for me.
Yeah.
So typically I have 2 dance classes a week. So I teach at a community center and I have rehearsals in my home. Well, I also have the dance studio in my home because, you know, manner again. And so I've been doing rehearsals and stuff via Zoom, via this internet gathering place. And so it hasn't changed. Monday evenings and Wednesday evenings, I'm still meeting with all these people. And you know what I find really funny? Is all of them that had an excuse before to miss out on rehearsals still have an excuse to miss out.
It's almost like they don't want to dance.
I know. I'm like, you guys can't like lie to me anymore. And you know, part of the reason why we're continuing with the rehearsal side of things, the classes, I'm not even charging for the classes. So if any of our listeners are really freaking bored and would like to join me, I can hook them up with our Zoom code, my Zoom phone number, I guess is what it is. And they are welcome to join for some ridiculousness on Wednesday evenings. I'm not charging. I'm just like, whatever. It makes me get off my ass for an hour. And so it's worth my time. The rehearsals, though, it's like, you know, eventually this is going to pass. And eventually we're going to be invited back to events and things like that. So we kind of got to stay on it.
Yeah.
And we're still trying to keep up with the curve of we're learning a new dance. We're learning the stuff that we had planned to learn for fall. We're still trying to get it done so that, you know, fall is going to happen pretty quick now that we're all sitting on our butts. Also, I don't want us to all look like, you know, all we did was sit and eat quarantine snacks the entire
That's what I'm going to look like.
I'm like, I mean, no shame, but still, like, there's no excuse in this case. We could still be working on stuff. I think the only drawback is we can't practice our sword fighting stuff.
Yeah.
We can't. That's a little difficult to do. We can run through the numbers. We can run through the motions of it, get the muscle memory, but you can't connect.
So, I have to tell you a funny. There's a thing going on. It's like a video contest for teens that they can enter, and I think they can win prize money or something. And our coworkers' children entered into this contest. Did you see her posts on Facebook?
No, but I know who we're talking about.
Yes, and
I won't say who.
Yeah. So they did a parody of the Karate Kid called the Corona Kid, and they did several mini parodies in their video. And at one point, the punchline is that he's doing karate and he's in this tournament and he's fighting, and then it pans out and there's a laptop sitting in front of him. So you guys just do that. Just have sword fights via the internet.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome. Yeah, well, you know, not totally crazy. I mean, we could. It is stunt work. You're supposed to just sell it. They're not actually supposed to hit you. So
there you go.
I just see that like, oh gosh. Oh my gosh. But in the meanwhile, there are a lot of online events happening, including the biggest one that I have found so far, and I don't even remember who invited me to it. I've since invited like everybody I know.
Yeah, yes, you have.
Yes, I have. I have contributed to the madness. It's called Concellation, like cancelled. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And I did purchase a T-shirt from them, and it says author on the back. It's a really cute shirt. I like it. I like their design.
I have a feeling like the people who set that up had no idea it would get that big. They had no plan on it being as crazy as it was. And they've got so many people in this group posting, like talking to each other and posting things and talking about past convention experiences and posting pictures of their cosplay and posting their videos and their podcasts. And so now they have t-shirts, now they have merch, like they have like bumper stickers and all this other stuff. It's amazing, frankly.
This is the biggest, most amazing convention I have ever been to.
Right?
And I don't have to leave my house. It doesn't smell. I haven't had to drive. I'm staying hydrated.
Wow.
What else? I don't actually have to deal with people accosting me at the booth. And I don't know, I haven't really checked my book sales or anything, but it's possible that I've made some book sales.
Yeah, Jen's been plugging her book. I plugged the podcast.
I've been pretty close. We might be getting there on the point where the girls and I might do a show via Zoom, because I think we have about 30 to 40 minutes of dance.
Mm-hmm.
We have our costumes, we have everything. If we can all get it together, it'll look like some weird Brady Bunch ass thing. But
do you know if you can do a live stream into a group, or I wonder if only admins can do that.
I don't know. I would be willing to just record it.
Yeah.
And send it afterwards. But I think the funniest thing that I've seen so far with this is everybody's trying to do something. There are free opera. You can go to the Met Opera. You can go to Broadway. You can do Cirque du Soleil has free stuff. You can tour so many museums. You can tour the Winchester House, which I haven't done yet, but that's on my list. Most recently, I found that the Japanese Friendship Garden Phoenix is doing live streams every morning.
Oh, wow.
And I have so many friends inviting me to all of these different things that they're doing, and people who are singing and reading poetry and all kinds of things. And I will tell you, this is how much of an introvert I am. I've still only answered maybe to most of them.
I'm kind of in the same boat. Like, we're like, oh, we can do all this stuff and we should have hangouts. So I'm just kind of like, especially since like I'm already home. I kind of feel like I just want to, like, I'm home. I've got my ugly face on. Like, I just don't wanna.
Yeah, but that's the thing. It doesn't matter what you look like.
Oh, it matters.
It matters. I don't know. We played Cards Against Humanity the other night for this. That was pretty funny. I've been watching TV shows with people through Zoom. Like, we'll watch it and like we'll both have it on at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, just all kinds of different things. But at the same time, it's kind of funny where you're like, maybe I'll go to your live stream event.
Well, as you know, I've been threatening to do a bad movie night because I really wanted to like make us all get on like a live stream and watch Cats together.
Yes.
It's not to a point where you can rent it, which is why I haven't gone through with this. You have to purchase it, and it's like $20, and it's not worth it. I don't want to have to do that. So like if we could each like, you know, if we could get it and it was like a thing where we could all kind of hang out and it cost us like $3, like it wouldn't be a big deal. But like I'm not gonna make all my friends blow $20 on Cats. Like I'm not that mean.
And you haven't figured out how to stream it to us, like for us to watch it?
I would probably have to record my TV.
And with this background that you've got going on because of your camera,
yeah,
that would make Cats even more terrifying.
Oh my god, yeah, my camera's awful. I mean, I could probably do it off my phone, but then I can't use my phone, so.
and there is like that 40-minute limit if you've got basic Zoom.
Yeah.
So.
Probably so you can't stream Cats to all your friends.
Oh my gosh. This is so, there's just so much interesting things happening with this. I think that someone had mentioned before that, what's getting us through this is the arts. It's books, it's movies, it's even the bad stuff.
Well, art and technology, yeah.
Yeah, Concellation there, going back to that, someone did start a movie room in there where somehow they are streaming live, Facebook Live of whatever junk sci-fi movie they're watching. So they've got it on, and you can watch it with them and make comments and stuff, and it's kind of cool. I'm thinking watching things that I never would have watched.
Yeah.
And it's that out of everything is the most walk into a weird panel room, because there are always weird panel rooms at these conventions where they're watching this movie and you're like, what did I just walk into? I'm not really sure what's going on. But you can't leave. You're like, okay, I'm here. I'm just going to sit for a minute and absorb the weird.
Yeah. I wonder if they should try to do like the room or something. And you know how like there's certain things you have to do, or like your Rocky Horrors, but like instead of actually like throwing spoons, you just put an emoji of a spoon in the comments.
Yes, we gotta do this. Do our own. There's just so many strange things happening. We really are living in a moment in history.
Yeah.
And for all its good and bad, I think there is a lot of bad happening. Obviously, this is not a pleasant situation, but find the funny, find the silver lining, find the things that get you through your day, find the new normal, whatever that may be, and reach out to the things that were normal for you and see maybe like the podcasts that you listen to are releasing a whole bunch of stuff. One of the podcasts I listened to just re-released a bunch of things that they hadn't planned to release all in one go, and it keeps it interesting.
Yeah.
I have friends on my Facebook. I have so many creative people on my social media. I have one friend who at 1:00 every day he draws stuff on his. He's got a big canvas that he draws, and he's not super technologically savvy, but it's interesting to watch him figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're all kind of figuring things out. I have thought about doing live stream of my dance stuff, but haven't decided that I'm okay with getting in something other than my mismatched yoga pants. Like, it's fine for my students and it's fine for my friends. They have seen me in my mismatched stuff. But like, I feel like I gotta put on, it's almost like you gotta put on the good lingerie, you know? Like, it's true. I gotta get the good yoga pants and the good stuff on, and then I'll do it. So you're right. You're right. You gotta put your face on.
I say the other thing I think is kind of important right now is if you know people personally, or even if they're not personal friends, but you follow artists or people who do any kind of online media, anybody who is an artisan that maybe makes their money off of doing events and doing conventions, they're all going to be hurting right now. They're kind of not covered in a lot of the stimulus stuff, and they don't know where their next paycheck is coming from. Find ways to support them. One of my podcasts that I really enjoy, they're from Australia, and they all had to cancel all their events at the Melbourne Comedy Festival, which is like a huge portion of their income for the year. They're going to do live stream shows that you can buy digital tickets to. I did immediately. A lot of these people have Patreons. Find other ways of supporting them, especially if you're lucky enough to be in a position where you haven't been laid off and you've still got money coming in. And it's not like you can go to the store and spend it or go on vacation with it. Support somebody who maybe is not in as good of a position as you are.
Right. You can't go to these conventions, but you can support the people who would have gone to them.
Yep.
And that's the next wave of this that I don't think anybody has really talked about or considered possibly, is that once this is over and we're free to move about the cabin, as they say, we are then going to have situations where everything that was postponed is now going to be scheduled on top of each other.
Yeah.
And this has already happened to 2 of the conventions here in Phoenix. The Phoenix Comic Con, not called Phoenix Comic Con anymore.
I think it's now Phoenix Fan Fest. No, Fan Fusion. Because for a while their winter convention was Fan Fest, and I was like, oh, that name's not bad. And then they got rid of Fan Fest, and now the new one's called Fan Fusion, and it's stupid, and I hate it.
I know. I don't think we should insult the big and mighty that is Phoenix Comic Con.
I don't care. It's a dumb name. You can not invite me. It's a dumb name.
And I just, yeah, so they have already moved their convention, which is typically at the end of May, to the end of September, end of August. I don't know. Anyway.
I think it's September.
Yeah, I think it's overlapping one of the smaller conventions that may or may not be able to move their convention.
Yeah.
So you're going to have people making choices. Also, Emerald City Comic Con has said they're going to probably move to the fall, which probably is going to be that same weekend. Because once you hit fall, there's only so many weekends before things are, then you're into the holidays.
Yeah.
That's going to make things really different. And this is, again, still tentative because who knows what's going to happen with this.
Yep.
And also, who knows who's going to have money to go to these things. If, we're all laid off for whatever reason, or we're all taking pay cuts because, they're just trying to get us through the next week.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things that can happen in the long run. So we have to really consider that the long-term impact isn't just what you don't get to go to today, but what you might have to make choices of what you go to come fall.
And if you have to make that choice, maybe choose to go to a small local convention where you can do some really cool stuff and meet some cool people and have more one-on-one time with the artists and authors who are there, and not to one of these big conglomerates. Like maybe don't sink all your time and money in trying to get San Diego tickets, because you probably aren't going to anyway.
Yeah, you're probably not on that list.
Right. So plan on going to a local convention or a couple. You can probably afford to go to several locals for how much it would cost you to go to an out-of-state one.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Some of these little conventions might give you quite a deal because they're going to be hurting.
Yep.
They're going to want people to come. And they really, I feel like the atmosphere at a smaller convention is a little bit more like a local arts festival.
Mm-hmm.
From a writer's standpoint, I have had one-on-one conversations with far more authors who I get like all goo-goo about. They're my heroes. I meet them at these little tiny conventions and talk to them at these tiny conventions. It does not happen at the big one more times than not. I think the only one that I met at a big convention was Peter Beagle. I met him at Comic-Con when it was first getting big out here. And that was over a decade ago. Other than that, like I met George R.R. Martin at a small convention. I met Harry Turtledove at a small convention. I sat on a panel with Harry Turtledove. Like, that's something that happens at these little conventions is I'm nobody. And I got to sit on a panel with somebody who I literally was like, Jenny Koch is another one. I sat on a panel with her. She wrote the Aliens series, and that was at a little convention. By the way, she wears a pink cowboy hat everywhere. She's hilarious, like a really cool person. So you can geek out a lot more, I think, with people at these smaller conventions. So give them some love as things start coming back. The other thing to think about with these is sometimes they are, I shouldn't say sometimes, they are all the time funded by small nonprofit community organizations rather than one guy trying to make a buck.
Yeah.
Or one company trying to make a buck off you. they really are fans working for fans. They're valuable and they're doing their best they can right now. And they're sometimes disorganized. I will say that, like, when you have strictly people who are volunteers and don't get paid to do this and don't really have any expertise, they trip over themselves and they do stupid things. And sometimes it's, you just kind of like shake your head and move on and accept that disasters are going to happen. And sometimes they don't put the best qualified people in the role of the job. It's just because that's the person who said they would do it.
But you know what? The big conventions do the same thing. The big conventions do the same exact thing. They put people who don't know what they're doing in charge of stuff. And the difference is you go to a big convention, and I mean, I've done my fair share of big conventions. We used to go to the Phoenix Comic Con every year. We haven't in a while, can't afford it anymore. But, the problem with the big conventions is they cost a lot to get in. You usually want to stay there because otherwise you don't get your money's worth, which costs more. Everyone costs money to meet and interact with. You very rarely, except for some artists and authors, especially local ones who you will find at your local conventions anyway. Everyone costs money. We went to a convention and tried to meet a very, very prominent, very important person that I was so excited to meet. And it costs us a lot of money to walk through a photo booth for 2 seconds. Yeah. And so, that experience is, there are still some great things about these big conventions. The thing I've loved every time I've gone to Phoenix Comic Con is the fan interaction. Their costume event is always fun because you get to see what other people are doing. Doesn't cost any extra money. There's room for everyone to be there, and it's encouraging. That's the best part of every convention I've ever been to, is a costume parade. Because it's that ingenuity and you're interacting with other fans. You can do that at small conventions. You can have that fan interaction at other places. The most fun I've ever had at a convention was probably like the first convention I ever went to. It was Arizona, which I'm pretty sure doesn't even exist anymore. It was an anime convention when I was in high school. And we were just a bunch of freaking high schoolers hyped up on sugar and Pocky and anime. And it was just the greatest experience. And I think they had Vic Mignogna there. Like, they got a couple of gets. And there was a dealer's room, and you got to buy all your anime junk. And there was a viewing room where you just sat and watched weird anime that had never been dubbed in English and had like weird subtitles on it. And there was just a panel where you just went and sat and watched AMVs, and they had, Lolita cosplayers, and it was a lot of fun. Like, you can have so much fun at small conventions and support a lot of local people. And just, self-published authors and artists and dance troupes and pirate groups and all kinds of people that you're not going to really support going to these bigger conventions. And if you've got to choose where to spend your money, maybe help out the little guys for a while. Same with restaurants.
Yeah, same with, and the restaurants too. Restaurants and businesses and local artists and local singers. And I really hope that out of all this, people do start to see what their local community is doing. And like we were saying earlier, the biggest thing you can do right now is, even if it is for free, even if they are producing stuff and giving it to you for free, share them, support them. You don't have to spend money to support local people. If you share our podcast and we get more viewers during this time when people are stuck at home, that is rocking. That is awesome for us. If I get more book sales because, you shared it, you didn't buy a book, but you shared it, that's awesome. I appreciate it. If I just get better known as an author, that's cool by me. Like, people knowing who I am always raises the bar for the next time things go around. So if you're bored and you're paying attention to authors or artists or musicians or podcasters, share. You're helping everybody. You're helping your friends who are bored. You're helping us who are the little guys. And really, you're building a community. And that's what that Concellation thing is really doing. It is building a bigger and better and more amazing community than I've ever seen. And yeah, there's been a couple posts on there. I'm not gonna like downplay the fact that There's been a few posts and a few things that I've been, whoa, okay, that's not good. Get rid of that.
That's literally every group on Facebook.
Yeah, it's still, that's the life of social media. But they've been really good at pulling stuff down that gets bad. And a few people have even apologized. They're like, yeah, I screwed up. I'm sorry. Which is awesome. I don't think I've ever seen that in any group before, where the person who screwed up comes right out and says, look, I screwed up. I'm sorry. And please don't boot me out of here, because it really is like the coolest thing going. And I don't know, I think you're right that they didn't know how big it was gonna get.
No. I think part of it, so I've probably talked to you about this before. Like, my biggest thing that I usually participate in online is I follow Planet Broadcasting, which is an Australian podcast group. They're like my favorite thing in the world. They have an online fan group I've been in for probably about a year now, over a year. And it's that kind of community like they've had in con canceled. So it's like, that's the kind of nerd communities gathering in these mass numbers. Yeah, you get a couple of assholes who will come in and post some really misogynist thing, or oh, Doctor Who shouldn't be a woman, and then throws a fit, and then they get quietly booted out or told. There's like, it's gotten so bad in Planet Broadcasting. It's not bad. They monitor it really well. The group there is really good, but the people who have gotten booted for it, or who have been kind of told, hey, cool it or lose it, they have created their own group of basically asshole fans who like can't deal with people being nice to women, and they have their own group, but we don't talk about them. But like, it's kind of like, I saw Con Cancelled did this too, where they have spin-off groups of Con Cancelled, where one's like the Artist Alley, and one's like, where they're separate groups where it's just that. And Planet Broadcasting has done that. They've got one that's all the fans in the group that are just into Pokemon, and the ones who just need life advice, but have kind of come together over this shared fandom.
Yeah, I'm wondering if, like, from this point forward, if this is going to be a thing, or if it's just going to pass once the need for it goes away.
Yeah.
I wonder if it too will fade and become part of history, or if it will continue, because it is such a beautiful thing to have kind of an all the time place to go.
I think was specifically with Con Cancel. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
I think they will probably live on once people can start going to conventions again. I think you will start seeing people being like, oh, I went to this convention this weekend. Look at the thing I did. I think it'll end up being kind of this place where you can share the stuff you're doing out in nature again when you can leave your house. I think that group will continue to exist, and they'll kind of be like all those people who were there when it happened, and you get people come in the group later and are like, I don't get why this is a thing, and we're all like, yeah, we get it.
We were there when it began.
Yeah.
This is one thing, part of the reason I bought the t-shirt, because I think I mentioned it, that I bought the t-shirt. It says author on the back. I'm all official. Maybe we can post a picture of me wearing the t-shirt or something. Yes. Part of the reason I got it is because I really do believe that this is a moment in history on a scale that means something to me and to the people that mean something to me. So I am a convention person. I am a author. I am somebody, this is part of my life. And it's been totally derailed by something so natural. Like we have no control over this. Who the heck knows what's going to happen next? And nobody, like, I know there are people who are politicizing it, and there are people who are, conspiracy theorying it and all this stuff. And ultimately, it's not something that we can do anything about.
It kind of just is what it is.
Yeah. And you just have to wake up every morning and find out, like, okay, well, what are we doing today? How are we coping today? And one of the things that I have done is I don't talk about this too much on the show, but like my family has kind of lived. My family is in New York right now, but not at the epicenter. They're upstate. They're at the place we're trying to not make it the epicenter, and they have lived in the same building for like I think the oldest paperwork for that building is 1813. So there's stuff from, 1918 when this epidemic stuff happened before, and how my family dealt with it. And it's so interesting to be kind of in their shoes in a way and seeing what it was like 100 years ago and what we're doing now. And it's not different. We're trying to find ways of entertaining ourselves and do things and create things and not be bored and not be stressed by it and stay healthy and all that kind of stuff. But we're also very different in the sense of we are so connected. They're using the term social distancing, and I truly have never felt closer to some people than right now. Like I've seen the inside of more people's houses than I think I've ever seen before. I'm like, I don't think I've ever seen your entire collection of Funko Pops. You're learning about people. We're learning some different things. So I don't know. That's really interesting to me in all this. So maybe we should do a thing where you can show off your Funko Pops and I'll show off my manor and
Sure.
like my totally organized personal library.
Yes.
Because I think that's a thing that people should see.
See, I've been very bad because I told myself when all this started, like, I'm going to clean and I'm going to organize and I'm going to get rid of all the stuff. I haven't done any of it. I went through my clothes and that was about it. I didn't read any of the books. I did, however, build us a website. So you can,
yeah, that's pretty cool.
You can now go to www.casingthecover.com and all of our episodes are on there. All of our video links are on there, and there's an about us and not much else, really. But we could post interesting things there if we wanted to. It's got our contact information. That's basically what I've done. Is I built a website. That was new.
I finished the script for the new novel. So Cloud to Cloud is not just a novel now, it is a completed script. And the script has been sent off to, I think, 9 different places now. I don't know, Bob handled that. It's sent off to a science fiction contest, and also to a bunch of half a dozen to a dozen different places that are looking for scripts. So who knows what happens with that? Right now, nobody's producing anything, but
yeah. Well, that's been my biggest irk out of a lot of this. Like, obviously, there's like the awful parts of this, which I don't even want to think about because it just makes you sad. But like the annoying consequences of the coronavirus, the worst is that everything I've been waiting on is getting canceled. Like, because I am a big media person, I'm a big movie person. I'd rather go to the movies than go to an event, quite frankly, because I'm an introvert. And they're delaying, like, all the Marvel Disney Plus stuff is being delayed, and I'm so pissed off.
Yeah. I just heard the new Ghostbusters is being delayed too.
Yep. So, and here's what's interesting, I think, a lot about this too, is kind of the approach that different companies are taking to how they're working around this. You have the ones who decide to adapt and go, well, we can't have you come to our store, but we can do curbside pickup and we can bring it to you and we can ship it to you and here's how you can support. And then there's the ones that just go, we're just going to fire everybody. Even though we have plenty of money to sustain people, we're just going to fire everyone. So kind of media companies, you've got some companies that are like, we're going to hold off till next year. You've got some who are like, you know what, we're just going to release it straight to streaming. You can just buy it and watch it online. And then you've got Disney who, feel what you feel about Disney, but they've just decided all the stuff that we're releasing in the theaters, we're just going to put on Disney Plus. You already have Disney Plus? Here, watch it. We're not going to charge you $20 to have it for 6 hours. So Onward, their new, I think it's a Pixar release. It's going to streaming on the 3rd. It's going to be on Disney Plus, so that's what I'll be doing on the 3rd.
Hey, yeah, maybe me too, because I want to see that.
Yeah, maybe we can have a watch party.
Okay, there we go. That's a good one to have a watch party for, because we all have Disney Plus.
Yes.
I have Disney Plus because it's free.
Yeah, I pay for mine.
Yeah, I happen to be with the right phone plan, so my phone plan has it for free, and
Yeah, mine has Netflix for free, so there you go. See, that's the thing is I have right now. So this is my how I work, right? We have Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, and Amazon Prime, and I've been watching Taskmaster on YouTube. Which, if you're bored and you need something to watch, and frankly, like this hurts my anxiety. Like it comes down on me. We've not just the state of the world in general, but then also like on a more personal level, we have no idea really where our jobs are right now. We're kind of in limbo from week to week there. I've had family members who are kind of dealing with the same kind of thing, kind of freaking out for them. So like I'm like, I just need to take my mind off of stuff. Watch freaking Taskmaster. The first 4 seasons they've completely uploaded to YouTube. It's this British show where they have every season 5 comedians compete. They get tasks that they have to complete. They have a time limit, which could be 5 minutes, could be 3 months, where they have to do a thing. And then the host and the taskmaster, who are other comedians, have to judge how well they interpreted the task, and they get points based on it. So the tasks are usually things that are very open to interpretation, like get this basketball through the hoop, you can't touch it with your hand. And so some people will go, well, I'm going to kick the basketball. Some people will go, I'm going to put it in a bucket and throw the bucket. Some people will turn to the host and go, can you put it through the hoop for me?
That'd be me.
Yes. And me and Daniel, every time we watch it, we're like, why don't they just ask Alex to do it? Because he'll do it, and he will if you ask him, but so many people don't ask him. Or it'll be something like, camouflage yourself, or it'll be something like, do the worst thing you can to the host and then apologize for it in the best way. One of them was make the biggest mess you can and then clean it up. And one of the comedians called all her family members to tell her sister that her brother-in-law was cheating on her, and then her dad to tell him that her sister was having a baby with someone else. So she just interpreted it as, I'm going to fuck with my family. It's funny. And that show also has been releasing home tasks for viewers to do at home and submit, and then they put them into videos. So that's been keeping me entertained. It's really funny. The creativity is just amazing, and now they're also trying to get the community involved in like, hey, are you fans of the show? Well, make a dancing elephant in your house, or turn your bathroom into an event you wish you were going to still.
That's kind of cool. I could get behind that part of it.
Yeah.
I think the show that I have been the most binge watching, and again repeated binge watching, and it's free, it's on YouTube, and I've been telling everybody else to watch it as well. Mary knows exactly where I'm going with this because I can tell by her face. No, she doesn't want to admit that I'm telling everybody to watch Life After People.
No. Jen, we have enough anxiety.
Life After People, you gotta watch it, because right now, like, oh my gosh, some of this stuff is gonna be for real. Like, because you got 3 weeks, 1 month after people don't go to certain places. This is still gonna be a thing. I'm telling you, it's still gonna be a thing.
I don't like it. This level of apocalypse is enough for me. Thank you.
I'm like, no, I want all the apocalypse.
No, not me. No. I want to watch comedians do stupid shit. That's where I'm at.
Life After People.
All right. I think we've been recording for like more than an hour.
See, we thought this was gonna be a mini episode. So you're gonna be so mad if this looks like trash.
It's a bonus. It might sound like trash. I might put it out anyway. It's a isolation bonus episode. Maybe we'll do some more if we get bored. There will still be some regular episodes going out. We have an interview going out next month, or this month by the time this goes out. We've got some more book reviews going out, so those will still go out. We've got some good stuff in the can that will still release. So, listen to us if you're bored. If you're not already listening, or continue to listen to us, share us with your friends.
Yeah, we're hilarious.
Also, support our friends. Go buy Jen's book. Go buy Amelie Jerome's book. Go listen to AE Read Skiffily. We've got lots of friends who do lots of cool things that can be entertaining you right now.
Go watch Gilead draw. Cool stuff. Go watch. I'm trying to think. Oh, I think Madame Askew is still doing like virtual tea time.
Ah.
I think there are some other friends of ours that are doing things virtually, and who knows, I might pull it together and start doing some virtual dancey things
Yes.
at some point. We'll see.
All right. I think that's probably where we should head out for the now. It's, stay safe, keep healthy. Don't do anything stupid. Don't go to the beach with 30,000 other people. Don't breathe on your old loved ones or any of your loved ones.
Oh my gosh, my son's big thing on this. Leave room for Jesus, because if Jesus is about 6 feet tall and his arm span is about 6 feet.
You know what, Jen? Stop being sacrilegious. It's almost Easter, okay?
Easter's been canceled. It's all been canceled.
No, just hey, if you've got young kids, give them a freaking egg hunt. They've got nothing else to do. Do it in your backyard. Do it in your apartment. Don't go to one. No one's gonna be holding them outside your house. If you have no eggs, hide something else. The stores are all out of eggs. Hide. I don't know, rocks. Paint rocks. Paint rocks.
There you go.
We've lost it. We've officially lost it. Yeah, we're done.
Too long in quarantine.
All right. Well, we'll see how this audio sounds. This you might be hearing this. If not, it'll be the lost episode.
Oh my gosh.
I think I'm gonna say goodbye and turn off our recording. Bye.